For years, people laughed whenever someone claimed Hollywood had a dark side. They called it a conspiracy theory. They said there was no secret system, no powerful gatekeepers pulling the strings, and no hidden price for fame. But now, more and more insiders are starting to tell the same story. And according to Joe Rogan, what happens behind closed doors in Hollywood is far stranger than most people realize.
That he was attacked, well, not attacked, some dude grabbed his dick
in front of his wife.
Some famous dude grabbed his dick.
Rogan has spent decades around actors, comedians, musicians, directors, producers, and some of the most influential people in entertainment. Over the years, he's heard stories that paint a disturbing picture of an industry where power isn't just about money. It's about control. Control over careers, control over opportunities, and in some cases, control over people's entire lives.
What did they tell you when they said that they were going to put you on medication? What did they put you on, and what did they tell you?
One of my favorite things that they did is they put me on this medication that made me gain a lot of weight. And I said, I'm not going to take this. And they said, okay, we got a medication you can take where you won't gain weight. And this shows you they were trying to kill a superhero, slowly trying to kill genius, trying to make me not feel like I could run for president, make me not feel like I can go be born in Atlanta, grow up on the south side of Chicago, go into music, go and win all these Grammys, change the sound of music and the look of stage performances, all that, and then still end up in $53 million of debt. What music industry has people going to the exact debt of the house that they think they're gonna buy after the tour is over. And it's strategized. There's criminals all over everyone's almost accounts in the music industry. It's not a safe place. It's a treacherous place. So
filled with money. As soon as things are filled with money, they're filled with people that are trying to take advantage of other people.
It's filled with money. Bees come to honey.
One story Rogan shared came from acclaimed filmmaker Quentin Tarantino. According to Rogan, Tarantino described an old-school Hollywood producer who allegedly had a bedroom built directly into his office. The implication was obvious. Aspiring actresses weren't simply auditioning for movie roles. There were other expectations attached to those opportunities. Rogan called it a deal with the devil, arguing that this kind of arrangement has existed in Hollywood for generations.
There's got to be like a bunch of people that ran their business that way.
But Weinstein, they say like in Hollywood, like my agent's like, oh no, yeah, it's about time you got caught. I'm like, what the f? Everyone knew this?
Dude,
like everyone knew.
Did you see his contract? It was in his contract. The way he had his contract set up was like they had a certain amount of money that he would have to pay if he had a harassment claim against him. It was like...
It was a thing for him.
Yes. Like he had so many claims. That's like first offense was $100,000. Second offense was $250,000. Third offense was $750,000. Fourth offense was $1 million. He had it written into his contract with Miramax. His contract with the Weinstein Company, like
he owned Miramax, right?
I don't know. Explain that contract. Like he'd have to pay $100,000.
Yes. They're protecting themselves.
Oh, when they sign him, they go, okay, the first time you with one of these goods, it's gonna be $100,000.
Yes.
Second time, it's $200,000.
It's not just him. Yes, I mean it was.
That's
so,
how big of a problem it was.
It was such a huge. It was so known of what he would do, and look, even Quentin Tarantino said that he did it to his ex-girlfriend. Quentin Tarantino said he knew about it. Yeah, he did it to Mira Sorvino.
Dude, and could Harvey Weinstein get any uglier?
He is a hideous. He's got a young ass wife.
He's so gross.
He looks like a troll.
What he looks like is a sexual predator in a Harvey Weinstein movie.
And that's where things start getting uncomfortable. Because according to Rogan, these stories aren't limited to one producer or one era. He believes similar systems have existed throughout the entertainment business for decades. Movies, television, music. Everywhere you look, there are stories about powerful people using their influence to get what they want while promising fame, money, and success in return. What's even more disturbing is that Rogan claims many of these situations were never really secrets. Instead, they were what Hollywood insiders call open secrets. Everyone knew. Actors knew. Agents knew. Managers knew. Studio executives knew. But nobody spoke publicly because too many careers depended on staying silent. According to Rogan, child performers may have suffered the most.
Documentary, an open secret. Watch that.
Keep hearing about that.
An open secret. Watch.
Is it about?
It's about pedophilia in Hollywood, right?
It's about Hollywood managers who manage kids. it's a racket, man.
Did you hear that kid from
They're
Strange...
just grooming these kids, dude.
That kid from Strange Things?
To suck their dick.
Stranger Things.
He just left his manager, and they're alleging sexual abuse. They just left their agent. See if you can find that. Owen Benjamin.
The curly-haired kid. Oh, yeah. And he's
Owen
in
Benjamin just put it on his Instagram today because Owen has been taking a lot of heat online because he said that a 3-year-old kid shouldn't be transgender, and people giving him a hard time saying he's a bigot. Like, are you out of your mind? When
What's
you're
up with these transgender?
Stranger Things actor dropped agent because of accused of sexual assault. Disney star follows suit. Jesus Christ. This is nuts.
Watch
man.
An Open Secret, and they go through, dude. They're accusing people. It's for free. I think on Vimeo.
Yeah, you can
watch it for free. An Open Secret.
Just on YouTube or something.
On Vimeo.
You know what Sturgill Simpson told me? He said the same thing exists in music.
What?
He said in music there's a bunch of pedos and pedos
for sure.
in music as well.
The entertainment business all the way through. Music. This was about. This is about music and movies and TV. It's about the whole entertainment business.
Women and kids.
He has repeatedly expressed concern about the way young actors are treated in the entertainment industry, pointing to documentaries and public allegations that suggest vulnerable children were often surrounded by adults who had enormous influence over their futures. Rogan has questioned why so many warning signs were ignored for so many years and why some of the people responsible remained protected despite repeated accusations. Even Corey Feldman and Elijah Wood, 2 renowned actors, have confirmed Joe's allegations.
The former child star alleges that pedophilia has been a real issue in Hollywood. He tells the publication, quote, "There are a lot of vipers in this industry, people who only have their own interests in mind. What bums me about these situations is that the victims can't speak as loudly as the people in power. That's the tragedy of attempting to reveal what is happening to innocent people. They can be squashed, but their lives have been irreparably damaged." The 35-year-old adds, "If you're innocent, you have very little knowledge of the world and you want to succeed. People with parasitic interests will see you as their prey."
I can get a good career doing this. It's going to be good.
Wood says he was not a victim of abuse because his mother Deborah protected him and he avoided those kinds of situations. He goes on to allege that even as an adult in the industry, he has been, quote, "led down dark paths to realize that these things probably are still happening."
Then there are the names: Harvey Weinstein, Diddy, R. Kelly, Woody Allen. All of them were major figures in entertainment. All of them had enormous influence. All of them worked with countless celebrities. And according to Rogan, one of the biggest questions isn't what they allegedly did. It's how many people knew about it while it was happening. That's where Oprah Winfrey enters the conversation. For years, Oprah was photographed alongside Weinstein. She praised him publicly. He appeared at her events. She appeared at his. After Weinstein's downfall, critics began asking whether some of Hollywood's biggest stars knew more than they admitted.
McGowan, who has been a very outspoken voice, a part of the Me Too movement, called Oprah out for her association to Harvey Weinstein. Rose described Oprah as fake and not the trustworthy woman that she claims to be. And if Harvey Weinstein wasn't bad enough, Oprah Winfrey had no problem being associated with Russell Simmons, who has been accused of R-word by 15 different women, and he also began dating the mother of his children when she was not a legal adult. But Oprah had no problem rubbing shoulders and even working with Russell Simmons until the pressure got just too hot for him and he fled the country. But Rose McGowan was not the only celebrity to call out Oprah and her friendship with Harvey Weinstein. The singer Seal also took to social media to call Oprah out for her association to predatory men. Seal has claimed that Oprah Winfrey was fully aware of what her pal Harvey Weinstein was doing, and when he was exposed for what he had done, Oprah tried to position herself as the solution instead of understanding that she was a part of the problem. While Oprah has had many friends who are very inspiring people, Gayle King, Maya Angelou, Aretha Franklin, just to name a few, she still has no problem rubbing shoulders with some of the worst men in Hollywood. Speaking of men, one thing that I was very curious about while diving into the topic of Oprah Winfrey was her past dating life. In the late 70s, Oprah would date the man who was the mastermind behind the Oprah Winfrey Show. We just spoke about him in an earlier part, Roger Ebert. The two met while they were both working in Chicago, and they went on to date briefly, but their romance would later fizzle out, and they would continue a strong friendship and business partnership and would later create the Oprah Winfrey Show. After this, Oprah would go on to date a television news anchor named Randolph Cook, but this was also a very short-lived relationship. In the late 80s, Oprah would date Emmy Award-winning musician and composer John Tesh, but their relationship was unfortunately very short-lived as the public was not accepting of their interracial relationship. But in 1986, Oprah would meet her future life partner, Stedman Graham, at a charity event in Chicago. The two would later go on to date, and Stedman Graham would propose to Oprah in 1992, but the pair would never marry. To this day, they are still not married, but they do refer to each other as life partners. Like we talked about earlier, Oprah, after losing her son at just 14 years old, decided that she never wanted to pursue becoming a mother ever again. So it appears that she's found a partner that is also very comfortable living a child-free life with her.
Singer Seal even posted a viral message questioning how so many influential people could claim complete ignorance despite years of rumors surrounding Weinstein's behavior. According to stories discussed on his podcast, Weinstein's influence allegedly extended far beyond simply producing movies. Multiple people claimed he could make careers overnight. Aspiring performers reportedly believed that getting on his good side could change their lives forever. Whether those stories are true or not, Rogan argues that Weinstein's reputation became so powerful because people believed he could deliver exactly what he promised: fame.
But I also believe that Harvey Weinstein was telling people.
He probably was.
Because, listen, for
but
everybody
what was
who
he telling him? Was he telling him that he was holding people down?
What do they usually tell him?
Was he telling him he was ripping people?
She's a piece of ass. No,
right.
Not at all.
Do you think that he did? Well,
yeah,
I don't even want to ask
she's a
you.
piece of She's a piece of ass. You got to see her suck a.
Right.
She'll do anything. She's an animal. Well, that's what we do as men. We're braggadocio.
So do you think that there was like a community of that where actors and actresses?
I think he had 4 or 5 guys that knew what he was doing. I want you to remember being 27 and having 4 of your boys that would come back every Monday with a different story to karate school.
Yeah.
I ate her ass. I fire. Whatever it is that you do. He told somebody. Somebody knew about all these stories. Some agents knew. Somebody, because for the 100 of them that said no and whatever, there had to be 25. He was playing the percentages, Joe.
Well, definitely. In fact, a lot of people said yes.
They blamed that one girl. That one girl that did Rounders. They accused her.
Yeah, I heard that.
That played Matt Damon's girlfriend. She went from being an extra in Donnie Brasco to being a guest star opposite. And yeah, if you watch Donnie Brasco, she's what's his name, Sonny Black's girlfriend. You know how many lines she has in that movie?
0. Smart move.
And then a year later, she's a guest opposite. So there's a bunch of them that said yes.
Do you fault the girl for doing that? Like if a girl decides to Harvey Weinstein on her own free will.
Joe Rogan, we come here with a dream. And there's 2 ways to enhance that dream.
And then the conversation gets even darker. Rogan has also discussed Jeffrey Epstein and the network of wealthy and influential individuals who surrounded him. During one conversation, Rogan suggested that throughout history, there have always been powerful people willing to exploit others, and individuals willing to facilitate those desires. He argued that extreme wealth often creates environments where normal rules stop applying and where people begin believing they are untouchable.
Jeffrey Epstein was investigated by the SEC in the 1980s. He was one of the 2 people who ran the biggest Ponzi scheme in history at the time in the United States, the Towers financial collapse. Epstein's business partner goes to jail for like 30 years or 20 years or whatever. But Epstein skates completely free. Epstein gets involved in this huge fraud in the U.S. Virgin Islands with this, like billion-dollar fraud case in the U.S. Virgin Islands, never prosecuted for any of it. Why is that? Well, one is, he may have, we know in the U.S. Virgin Islands case, he was sponsoring the campaigns, basically, of the politicians there. The prosecutors answer to the politicians. Could be that. But I would be shocked if they're in 40 years of this Where's Waldo, Forrest Gump, he's always in the room, in 40 years of American foreign policy and intelligence activity, money sourcing for all the crimes that Epstein committed, the concern was the same one they had with Rolando Masfer. Don't bring the case, and if you do, bring it in a highly limited way. And that's exactly what happened in 2006, the first time he was indicted. Everybody was up in arms that it was a sweetheart plea deal. It gave protection to all co-conspirators, known and unknown. And it was swooped in quickly before, there was a trial in full, so that lines of evidence couldn't be opened about the network.
It's just crazy that statutory is what took it all down, right? Because it's underage hand jobs, right? That's what took it all down.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be what took Jeffrey Epstein down.
Kind of crazy.
But perhaps the most fascinating part of Rogan's theory involves the celebrities who walked away. Because while many people spend their entire lives chasing bigger contracts, bigger houses, and bigger paychecks, a few stars have done the exact opposite. The biggest example is Dave Chappelle. At the height of his success, Chappelle shocked the world by walking away from a fortune. Reports suggested he left tens of millions of dollars behind when he stepped away from his wildly successful television show. The media called him crazy. Commentators questioned his mental state.
Everybody wants to know, why'd you walk away from $50 million?
Well, I wasn't walking away from the money.
Yeah.
I was walking away from the circumstances that were coming with the newfound plateau.
Yeah.
It takes a while when you punch through to adjust to the atmosphere. It was completely outside of my frame of reference. I've been in show business since I was 14, and I've heard the stories of what happens, and I've seen these kinds of things play out in front of me.
Okay.
When
you say you heard the stories, what do you mean? What stories?
I mean, you see before, look, Mariah Carey made a $100 million deal, and 3 months later, she's all of a sudden mysteriously crazy. Or Martin Lawrence punches through, and he's waving a gun on the street screaming, they're trying to me.
Yeah, we hear those stories.
And it always happens around the time of their career where it seems as though they're crossing over the next plateau.
Yeah.
Fans couldn't understand why anyone would leave that kind of money on the table. But Joe Rogan saw things differently. According to Rogan, Chappelle wasn't running away from success. He was running away from something else. This hit even harder when people started looking at other celebrities who seemed to unravel shortly after reaching new levels of fame.
When Martin Lawrence was in that chair, we talked about Blue Streak.
I love that dude.
He played a role in your life, I believe. How do you feel about him as a person, as an artist?
Martin Lawrence is the guy that showed everybody you can make it from D.C. to Hollywood. And I had a personal stake in his success. Every time he did something, it made me feel inspired and really good. And he was always real nice to me. He'd sit me down, what's going on with you, baby boy? What? We'd talk about comedy, whatever. And, when we did Blue Streak, we were promoting it, and Martin had a stroke. He almost died. And then after that, I saw him, and I was like, oh my God, Martin, are you okay? And he said, I got the best sleep I ever got in my life. That's how tough he is. So let me ask you this. What is happening in Hollywood that a guy that tough will be on the street waving a gun, screaming, they are trying to kill you?
Yeah.
What's going on? Why is Dave Chappelle going to Africa? Why does Mariah Carey make a $100 million deal and take her clothes off on TRL? A weak person cannot get to sit here and talk to you. Ain't no weak people talking to you. So what is happening in Hollywood? Nobody knows. The worst thing to call somebody is crazy, is dismissive. I don't understand this person, so they're crazy. That's bullshit. These people are not crazy. They're strong people. Maybe the environment is a little sick.
And then there's Will Smith, who who, according to Jaguar Wright, and in order to further his own career ambitions, turned over Bryshire Gray, August Alsina, and his own son to none other than Diddy.
Or you were bringing to light to where the rumors about him, the things about him and his wife, he's addressing them on this album. Do you feel like what you're saying reaches the ears of Will Smith and he needs to get at least, if there's smoke, there's fire, let me grab a fan?
Number one, as far as Will Smith is concerned, until he does right by all of those children that were harmed and corrupted while in his care, children that grew up to be men, boys like Bashir Gray, August Alsina, your own son. Like, your own son. Do people forget about that voice clip that I played from Brother Belial?
Hey.
Has anybody seen Belial?
Come on.
I asked him, didn't I ask for him last year?
Come on.
Where's Belial? Is he missing with Cuba? Have they all moved to Bali with Russell Simmons and Kevin Liles?
I would always say it is interesting when you speak on, Jaden Smith and you see the hug with with Justin
Bieber.
Justin Bieber, and then for Bashir, you see him all of a sudden fighting over Sydney Starr with Eddie Winslow. It does question what happens in the entertainment industry that makes someone go into just being very close with men on men contact. It's interesting, I'll say the least.
You want to know the thing that bothers me most about Bashir Gray? I actually think he's doing all of this so they'll take him back in the club. And they're not. They're gonna keep gaslighting you and playing with you, promising you one thing or another.
Which of these celebrities would you like us to do a deep dive on? Let us know in the comments below.